Harper Paperbacks and HarperAudio present The Weekend Guests, a novel by Liza North. Performed by Elliot Chapman and Catrin Walker-Booth.
Afterwards. Dorset, 2019. The last caller had dropped his keys down the gutter. The one before had stubbed a toe. This was different. A bad line, dropping in and out of signal. A woman's voice gasping panic, gabbling sentences he couldn't decipher. Then something that might have been he, or she, or even they, and 3 words, suddenly clear, that gouged through a year's experience. Took the children. The call handler felt his mind empty, immediately, as if it had been shaken upside down. He stretched out fingertips and balanced them bloodless on the desk. Through the phone, he could hear the shriek of the wind, then the woman gibbering in incomprehensible snippets. From the next desk, his colleague turned to him, eyebrows up. He shook his head, speaking into the handset. "Can you tell me where you are?" The woman yielded a phone number, an address. Her voice held ice still, then disappeared into the crackling line. The words emerged, isolated, distorted. A gun! His mouth seemed to drive itself. He held his breath to catch every whisper. "Please help us. Please." The handler keyed words into the computer, recalling his script with an effort. "Help is on its way." Did she even hear him? He heard only the wind, a wild drumming like stones on metal, and a high keening that could have been a baby's cry. Then that serrated breath, close to the phone. "The others." The rest of her words were lost. The handler heard himself barking questions, sharply efficient. Around him, as in a different world, he could see lines light up, more calls coming in. "It's so dark," the caller said. I can't see anything." Then the voice was clearer, high as a scream. "What if they're all dead?" Triassic. The continents are fused, one vast land. This stretch of desert is not yet Dorset. It is not yet England, or even Europe. Later they will call this the Wessex Basin, lined with the accumulated sediments from eons of geological history, Permian to Paleogene. The red deposits draw a line like sand in a jar, to last for millennia.
Chapter 1. Brandon. Dorset, 2019. The weekend, which would flirt with farce and end in horror, began with a kiss. Brandon stood by the panes of what his wife called their second home, congratulating himself that the setting, at least, was proof against modernization. Above him, the Dorset countryside that was alternately Cornwall wild and Cotswolds tame. In front, the English Channel, grey as tin on this late winter day, deep sapphire when he'd seen it first. Despite everything, he was bewitched by this piece of coast. He would go to his grave loving it. Aline came to him with her lioness walk and stood before him like a figure in a poster, pale hair and long legs, with floor-to-ceiling glass and that unreal view behind her. Beyond the panes, the ground dropped almost at once into crag and scrub. Far below, unseen from here, it rose and fell again, landing at last in the oatmeal curve of the bay. "God," she said, "we were so right to do this." She indicated the glass, the opaque stretch of sea with one hand. "It's like you could run straight into it." "Fall into it," he said. 15 meters down, those tilting waters. She slid her fingers down the back of his jeans, nudging long nails into his buttocks. He twisted his head and his lips touched the scented sheet of her hair. She turned him to admire her handiwork, ripped out walls and an interior stripped and started
Sample complete. Ready to continue?